episode 432 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I will be talking about tonight's WWE Monday Night RAW, which is the go-home RAW before this Saturday's WWE Money in the Bank Premium Live event. Right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to tonight's episode of the podcast. Coming off a pretty big weekend with AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door on Sunday night. In case you missed it, make sure you check out the recap episode of the podcast. I'm Lance Brock. And tonight, as I said in that preview there at the beginning, I will be talking about tonight's WWE Monday Night RAW. The go home before Money in the Bank this Saturday night. Special start time of 3 p.m. Eastern, live from London, England. But first, Raw was in Savannah, Georgia. Commentators tonight, Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. And we kick things off with representing Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, now known as Dirty Dom. And Cody Rhodes comes out, and later on tonight, the American Nightmare will face off against Damian Priest in the main event of Raw tonight. In our first match on Raw, we have Ricochet taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bronson Reed is at ringside, and he gets involved in this one. And there's a point where Ricochet and Nakamura actually end up working together to attack Bronson Reed when he was trying to interfere a little bit. But it is Ricochet getting the win, defeating Nakamura. And both of them will be in Money in the Bank this Saturday. And we get a video package about the numbers in the Money in the Bank match. This one was kind of like the ones they usually do for the Royal Rumble, where they say so many people have won, or how many, like Kane and Kofi Kingston having the record for most appearances in the men's one, and so many percentage of the men's winners going on to cash in and win world titles, and the women's one, all of them have cashed in to win a women's title. So like I said, it was pretty much just like one of those Royal Rumble videos by the numbers that they usually do. Not a bad video package to get ready for the PLE this Saturday afternoon. And once again, I will be planning on having a special live episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I don't know if I'll be doing it right after Money in the Bank, or maybe I'll wait a little bit since it is an earlier start time. I'll have to think about that during the week and then decide. 3 p.m. Eastern, so probably be over about 7 or maybe 8 at the latest. Like I said, I'll have to think about that during the week. And one half of the new undisputed women's tag team champions, Ronda Rousey, defeated Raquel Rodriguez. And we get a video package on Finn Balor. And then Dominic Mysterio defeats Akira Tozawa. And we get a segment in the ring with the competitors in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And Sami Zayn takes on Gunther. Kevin Owens is on commentary. And in the main event, or not the main event, semi-main event, Finn Balor takes on the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. Also, I didn't put this on my notes because I'm probably the worst note taker in wrestling podcasts, but there was a segment earlier where Seth Rollins was in the ring and he called out Finn Balor, and he didn't come out at first anyway, and he attacked Rollins again, and then now it's time for this match. Finn Balor versus the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. Finn Balor defeats Carmelo Hayes in this one to get the win. And speaking of NXT, week 2 of Gold Rush tomorrow night. And then we get the recap of the Bloodline Civil War. What happened last Friday night on SmackDown with the Usos and their brother Solo Sikoa. This Friday, SmackDown from London will feature Roman Reigns returning to SmackDown the day before Money in the Bank. And so, of course, that means that SmackDown will be a taped episode, well, here in the North America anyway. And the main event of the evening tonight, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who we had a pretty big debut on Raw tonight, I believe. I believe it was the first time on Raw we got to see. It was Pharaoh, Cody's dog. I'm sure you remember we did see him on occasion in AEW. And Cody is taking on Damian Priest, representing the Judgment Day in this week's Raw's main event. And there's one time where Cody gets involved and it kind of backfires on Damian Priest. Allows Cody to hit the Cody Cutter and then the Crossroads to get the win. So that was tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw. I know that was more of a short, quick recap. And I know I need to get better with my recaps, take more notes, be more detailed. Hopefully one day I'll get better. But I thought it was a pretty good episode of Raw tonight. I wouldn't say anything real great, but I thought it was an okay episode. getting ready for Money in the Bank this Saturday afternoon, or if you're here in the United States, or North America, I should say, Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm sure the people in the UK are happy that they don't have to stay up till late night to watch a WWE Premium Live event. And like I said, I hope to have an episode sometime Saturday evening recapping Money in the Bank. And before I wrap up this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, also just added to Money in the Bank now, Gunther will be defending the Intercontinental Championship against Matt Riddle. I didn't mention during the recap, but Imperium did attack Riddle backstage. And Trinity Fatu, now a part of Impact Wrestling, will be in the Queen of the Ring film. Also, Chris Hero was backstage yesterday doing a little coaching at Forbidden Door. And also, the NJPW Strong Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale, accepted Julia's challenge. So I'm guessing that's going to be happening at Stardom. And I talked about this a little bit this morning, but Bryan Danielson suffered a fractured forearm and will be out for 6 to 8 weeks, which that occurred during the main event of Forbidden Door in the match against Kazuchika Okada. In the press conference, he said that he injured it on a simple move, an elbow drop. And some good news for Forbidden Door, there was a $1.2 million gate. And also, I mentioned this on the recap, Bryan Danielson coming out to the final countdown. He was asked during the media scrum if he would be using that regularly, and he said, he kind of made a joke. He said that's up to Tony Khan because that costs $1 zillion each play. So who knows if he'll be using that for good now, or if that's just a one-time thing and he'll go back to Fight of the Valkyrie. And one more thing, Sheamus is being listed now as a presenter for the 2023 NHL Awards. And also, go back to AEW. The reason Adam Cole, baby, was not on the Forbidden Door card last night was due to an illness. Tony Khan said that during the media scrum that he is sick. And that was too bad, because I was looking forward to seeing Adam Cole take on Filthy Tom Lawler. I thought that one really would have been a good match. Really, though, there wasn't a bad match at all on the show, not in my opinion anyway, last night. And great crowd in Toronto. So that is all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Hope everyone had a great Monday. Hope everyone enjoyed Raw tonight. Feel free to leave your feedback of Monday Night Raw, your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section right here on Spreaker or whichever podcast website or app podcatcher you're listening to on. And if you have a company or a business and you would like to advertise right here on 360 Wrestling Podcast, you can email me 360wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description. I'll try to do a good ad read and not mess up. So email me, once again, 360wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to the two 360 Wrestling Podcast YouTube channels. Also, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 360 Wrestling Podcast. And even though I don't update very much on Facebook, you can still go there and like the page anyway. And I hope to have more new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic all week, heading into Money in the Bank this Saturday. And I will be back tomorrow morning for the Tuesday episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Have a great night, everyone. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.